My sister called me up in April, said, pack a bag, we're getting out. I asked, you mean for lunch? She said, no, I mean this town. 3 days later we were crossing state lines in an ancient Ford, arguing over maps and music like we did when we were 4. Arizona postcards scattered on the dashboard seat, pictures of cactuses and sunsets and strangers we'd never meet. Arizona postcards covered in coffee stains and dust, proof that 2 old sisters still know how to cause a fuss. We got lost outside Flagstaff, following a sign that lied. Ended up at a rattlesnake museum neither one of us enjoyed. She bought a turquoise bracelet, I bought hot sauce much too strong. Spent the whole next morning coughing while she laughed all day long. Arizona postcards stacking up beside the wheel. Funny how a week away can make old worries lose appeal. Arizona postcards from places we never planned. Sometimes the best adventures happen when you misunderstand. Back home, people kept asking, what exactly did you find? I said, nothing worth money, but a little peace of mind, and a reminder that growing older ain't the same as slowing down. Sometimes it just means finally having the nerve to leave town. Arizona postcard still hanging on my fridge today. Everyone reminds me life ain't over by a long way. Arizona postcards faded by the summer sun. Everybody knows Miss Evelyn. She walks in dressed to kill. Red lipstick, silver earrings, and enough attitude to pay the bill. She's 71 next Tuesday. Still got men losing sleep. Half the town comes for the bingo, the other half comes to peek. She's the bingo night queen, ruling table 17. Lucky charm in her purse and leopard print on everything. Bingo night queen, never backing down when she yells B12. You can hear it cross town. The hardware store asked her out for pie. She said, honey, get in line, without even blinking an eye. Then she won $200 on a card she almost tossed. Bought drinks for half the building and never mentioned what it cost. But she still dances every Saturday, like 1963 is here. She says growing old ain't tragic, it's a privilege, don't you see? Then steals the last slice of apple pie and laughs louder than me. Some people spend their whole lives waiting for the fun to start. Miss Evelyn figured out years ago, joy is a decision of the heart. You don't need perfect circumstances or a pocket full of gold. You just need enough courage to refuse acting old. And if aging looks like that, Lord, I hope I age that strong. Found a photograph this morning, tucked inside a cookbook page. Black and white, July of '69. Everybody looked their age. Daddy sitting on the porch swing, Mama laughing at something he'd said. My brother missing both front teeth, a baseball cap upon his head. That old house is gone forever. The maple tree got struck by lightning years ago. The porch where that picture happened lives now only in the photo. Funny thing about old snapshots, they don't tell the whole truth. You can't see Daddy working double shifts or Mama worrying about the roof. Front porch photograph, holding more than it can show. 1,000 little ordinary moments nobody thought to know. Front porch photograph, frozen in the summer sun, proof that life was happening before we knew it had begun. Last year I became the age my mother was inside that frame. That realization hit me harder than I'd ever dare explain. Because when you're young, your parents seem like they've always known the way, until one day you realize they were learning day by day. Nobody remembers Tuesdays or random afternoons. Nobody saves a calendar for quiet living rooms. Yet somehow that's the stuff that matters. Looking back across the years, not the victories or failures, but the laughter and the tears. Front porch photograph, still hanging on my wall at night. The faces there keep getting younger every year of my life. Front porch photograph, a little paper time machine, reminding me how beautiful the ordinary can be. Yeah, reminding was reaching for a can of peaches on the highest grocery shelf when a voice behind me said, "Looks like you could use some help." I turned around expecting 20, maybe 30 years old at most. Instead I found a silver-haired man in a veteran's cap and coat. We met again by frozen dinners, then by aisle number 3, then somehow near the checkout line, like fate was teasing me. He said he lost his wife in 2010. I said I'd lost my husband too. For a moment neither of us spoke, because some silences tell the truth. Grocery store roses, growing where nobody planned, between shopping carts and discount signs, and 2 weathered hands. Grocery store roses, blooming late but blooming still. Turns out lonely hearts don't disappear just because they get older. 3 months later, every Thursday, we shared coffee after church, talking about grandchildren and all the dreams that used to hurt. One afternoon he showed up smiling, holding flowers wrapped in brown paper. Said they were selling these by the register, like it was the most natural thing. Nobody tells you at 65 that your heart still acts the same, still gets nervous, still gets hopeful, still trembles at a name. The body changes, sure enough, but some things never do, like wanting somebody beside you when the day is through. Grocery store roses, sitting in a mason jar. Nothing fancy, nothing perfect, just beautiful as they are. Grocery store roses, proof for anyone who fears. Love don't check your driver's license before it appears. No, love don't check your driver's license before it appears. There's a half-empty suitcase in my bedroom, been sitting there since last July. One shoe inside a paperback novel and a postcard from another life. I Packed it when I got restless. Thought I'd finally leave this town, drive west until the road ran out, and never turn around. I even mapped the route to Denver, marked the motels on the way, told my neighbor I'd be gone by August, swore this time I'd never stay. Then my grandson broke his arm, my sister needed help with rent. One thing became another, and the summer came and went. Half-empty suitcase, half-finished plans, half the world still calling me, half my life already ran. Half-empty suitcase by the closet wall. Funny how the roads we never travel stay with us most of all. Some nights I pull it from the corner, brush the dust from off the top, open it and stare inside, like somehow time might stop. I wonder who I'd be in Denver, or somewhere by the sea. Then I hear my granddaughter laughing down the hall at me. Growing older means learning what matters most. Not every road is meant for driving, some are meant for ghosts. Half-empty suitcase, still standing by the door, still carrying 100 places I've never seen before. Half-empty suitcase, and somehow that's okay, because the life I almost chased didn't take the one I made. No, the life I almost chased didn't take the one I made. I came dressed to have some fun. Brand new boots, red lipstick, ready for a little sun. Then I spotted Eddie dancing by the jukebox near the wall, with a blonde and cowboy boots, and I didn't like that at all. Jukebox jealousy, burning hotter than July. Every song that machine was playing made me roll my eyes. Oh, jukebox jealousy, Lord, she thought she owned the floor. But I've been dancing longer, and she's been alive, I'm sure. She kept laughing at his stories, touching his arm every chance, like she invented flirting and personally discovered romance. Meanwhile, I was sitting there with my club soda and pride, planning 27 speeches and 3 dramatic exits in my mind. Then the jukebox played our favorite orders from back in the day. Eddie looked across the room and motioned me his way. Turns out that blonde was his daughter, home from Nashville for the week. I nearly choked on an ice cube, too embarrassed to even speak. Now everybody in the bar still laughs about it today. Every time I walk through the door, oh, peppermint tea. Then an old soul station played a record I knew by heart. And before I knew what happened, my living room fell apart. Kitchen dance floor, bare feet sliding on the tile. No audience, no spotlight, just me acting wild. Yeah, kitchen dance floor, spinning with a wooden spoon, like the rent was free forever, and I still had all of June. The dog looked deeply disappointed, watching from his corner bed, probably thinking I'd gone crazy or bumped my head. I nearly knocked a chair over, trying to move from 78. Pulled a muscle in my shoulder, but honestly, worth the pain. Hey, hey, kitchen dance floor, laughing louder than before. Not every miracle arrives walking through your front door. Hey, kitchen dance floor, turning midnight into gold. Best thing about growing older, you stop doing what you're told. Next morning at the supermarket, I ran into my friend Louise. She said, "You seem suspiciously happy." I said, "Girl, you should have seen me moonwalking past the microwave, dancing with the mop and broom." She laughed so hard she dropped her coupons right there in aisle 2. Nobody handed me permission, nobody gave me a sign. One day I simply figured out, this little life was mine. And joy ain't hiding in the future, waiting somewhere down the line. Sometimes it's dancing in your kitchen at 11:59. Hey, kitchen dance floor, still shaking up the night, still making friends with happiness and the fluorescent light. Kitchen dance floor, long after the world goes still. The neighbors might complain tomorrow, but tonight I'm dancing still. Yeah, the neighbors might complain tomorrow, but tonight I'm dancing still. nearly full. Grandma Betty wearing lucky earrings, acting cool as a pool shark should. Coffee brewing in the backroom kitchen, cherry pie cooling nearby, whole room buzzing with anticipation under fluorescent light. Everybody got a number, everybody got a dream, for a couple hours tonight. Nothing's quite what it seems. Midnight bingo hall, laughing through the Tennessee night, saxophone drifting from the tavern next door. Everything feels right. Midnight bingo hall, cards spread out across the tabletop. Funny how the little moments never really stop. Retired trucker sitting by the window, calling numbers under his breath. Waitress from the diner just got off work, still wearing her name tag on her chest. I remember chasing bigger headlines, trying hard to make my mark. Now I love these ordinary evenings that keep a fire in my heart. Every town has hidden treasures, every street has its own song. Every soul needs a place to gather, where they feel they belong. Maybe joy ain't in the spotlight, maybe joy don't need applause. Maybe joy is just good people without a special cause. Midnight bingo hall, golden through the smoky haze, whole room moving like a jukebox, playing back the days. Midnight bingo hall, last number rolling slow, sweet soul moment nobody wants to go. church was over, I baked a chocolate layer cake. My neighbor asked what we were celebrating. I said, honey, a clean escape. 23 years of saying yes, dear, to things I never wanted to do. Now the television stays on my channel, and the thermostat does too. Sunday divorce cake, covered in icing and freedom, one slice for every year I spent trying hard to please him. Sunday divorce cake, sweetest thing I ever made. Turns out happiness tastes better than being well behaved. I sold his fishing boat in August, kept the dog and kept the truck. Found $200 in an old jacket. Guess that's part of my luck. Joined a dance class on a Wednesday, bought bright red shoes on sale. My granddaughter says I'm dangerous now. I take that as a compliment. At least that's what he claimed. Spent 10 minutes talking with her, then forgot why he phoned. Before he hung up, he got quiet, said, you sound happy these days. I said, funny, what can happen when nobody's standing in your way? Some people think a broken heart means the story ends. Sometimes it's just an invitation to meet yourself again. And if you're lucky enough to find her after all those years, you raise a fork and celebrate with laughter instead of tears. Sunday divorce cake, everybody grab a plate. We're not mourning what is over, we're celebrating fate. Sunday divorce cake, candles burning bright. Best thing about starting over is starting over right. Found an old blue dress this morning, way back in the closet behind winter coats. Still smelled a little like cheap perfume and those cigarettes Carl used to smoke. Lord, that man could break a heart before breakfast and be home by noon. But there I stood laughing by myself, trying that old dress on in June. the dress still fits. Though the years got bold, a few more lines around my eyes, a little silver in the gold, the dress still fits. That's all I need to know. Life took some things away from me, but it forgot a few. Ain't that beautiful? Used to wear it every Friday night at the Magnolia Dance Hall crowd. Thought I was gonna be somebody famous, thought I'd make my mama proud. Well, I never made the radio, never saw my name in lights, but I raised 2 kids and paid my bills and survived 1,000 nights. From 78, but a woman who buried her father, learned forgiveness a little late. A woman who kept showing up when showing up was hard to do. Funny how strength sneaks into your story before you ever notice it's true. Nobody tells you when you're 20 how fast the seasons run. One day you're chasing every answer, next day you're teaching someone. But I wouldn't trade these miles for all that reckless youth, 'cause every scar stitched in this heart helped me find the truth. And the dress still fits, though the world moved on, though some names faded from memory and some old friends are gone. The dress still fits, and baby, so do I. Maybe not the way I used to, but enough to hold my head up high. Yeah, enough to hold my head up high. Mm-hmm.